My life is a mess. Good morning. I really want to make a big change in my life over the next 6 months, and I really want my life to transform. And so I decided to do a challenge where I get my week together and my shit together every week for, 6 months and then see where I end up, because I'm sick of playing small. And anyway, I talk about the whole thing in this video. But today marks the beginning of my journey, and there's a bunch of things that I really want to do today. I desperately need to get the house clean because she's not looking cute. There's just shit everywhere, to be honest. And I really want to do a declutter. That's something that I'm planning to do in one of these videos, really decluttering my life, because the best version of myself wouldn't hold on to things that she doesn't love. But I do think that I need to clean up and tidy up and put things away before that. So this week is tidying up and getting everything sorted. A lot to do, but for now, we're gonna clean. So this is what we're working with, and it is atrocious. That's just our suitcase. So I did washing before we left of a lot of our stuff. So a lot of that stuff is clean, but it's just not put away. And then this is baskets of just clothes that we didn't take away, but that are also clean. On top of that, there's some shoes out. I have some clothes in that bag. This is not going to take very long to tidy up. It's our lounge room. And then the bathroom's fine. But all in all, it's not too bad, but I definitely need to get started. So I think first thing I'm gonna do is start with the lounge room because it's the easiest. Ta-da! Finished putting away all the clothes and sorting out like what's dirty and what's not. This is what the wardrobe floor looks like now, so that's all put away. The baskets are gone, everything else is still a mess, but considering it's 9:15, I think that we did really well, and I really want to go make myself a coffee to take with me when I go to my appointment. So I'm gonna make that now. So I just got home. I changed into the papaya McLaren jumper. This is my boyfriend's jumper, and it's actually for Daniel Ricciardo when he used to drive for McLaren. Rip Danny Rick. Oscar, he won his first race last night, and I'm so excited. I don't know if you're an F1 person, but this season I'm just so invested. I think one, it's because I love the F1 girlies and the F1 girl community on Instagram and on social media. I think it's really cool seeing the girls involved and, enjoying it. And then the second reason is that, well, it's more interesting than previous seasons because there's so much competition between all the drivers. It's not just clearly one person is winning all the time. And number three, it's because Oscar Piastri, who is my favorite driver, he's Australian, he's from Melbourne, and he's just it's his second season and he already won a race. It was actually kind of controversial, but because I don't know if I should dive into this, but I think I'm going to because I really like F1. But he was winning and then they had to pit. So there's two drivers from each team. So Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris are both in McLaren and they were 1 and 2. So it was Oscar and then Lando. And Lando's very competitive at the moment. I think it's because he's coming second in the Drivers' Championship, and also he's just competitive. Best friends with Max Verstappen, so that probably doesn't help. But they were 1 and 2, and then what they should have done, they only have one pit, so they have to double stack or pit on 2 separate laps for their team. And on this is in Hungary, it's where the race was, they couldn't pit, the person that pits first gets the undercut and then can overtake the person out. So if you pit first, you basically can then overtake the person in front of you. And they pitted Lando first because they were protecting him from Lewis Hamilton, who was behind, which I don't really think was necessary. He was pretty far back, but they did that, and then they told Oscar, it's okay, we'll pit you second, and then we'll swap back, and then, you know, because it's their own team, they can go, okay, Lando, just let Oscar past and he'll win, because he was supposed to win. And then the team made the call to let Lando go first, and then Lando drove really well, and it was hard for Piastri to catch up, and he was also under the impression that he was going to get let in front again, and Lando didn't want to let him in front because he wanted to win the race. And then Oscar was like, this is going to be my first win, like, what's happening? And the radio was all crazy, and McLaren was like, Lando, we know you're going to do the right thing. And Lando was just radio silence. And then he kind of wanted to prove a point, and he got 5 seconds in front of Oscar. And I feel like he wanted to prove that if he if they had pitted Oscar first, Lando thinks he would have caught up to Oscar and overtaken him and won fair and square. I think that's what sort of happened, in my opinion. And yeah, just didn't really pan out well for anybody. It was kind of like a sour win because, yeah, I don't know, McLaren maybe made a wrong call there. So it was just like a lot. It was like a lot, and it was kind of like, I was like, yeah, Oscar! And then I was like, oh no, and I was stressed, and I was like, what's gonna happen? And I can kind of see it from both sides. So, but I love Oscar. Max Verstappen was a grumpy, tired little gremlin, and he totally just, I think he thinks he plays by his own rules, and then when he isn't winning, he just gets so grumpy. It's like really easy to be gracious when you're winning, but as soon as you're not winning, that is when the true colors come out. Anyway, that is my F1 rant. But I thought I would go to Big W because I really wanted to get another physical book, because I read 2 physical books on my Queensland holiday. I'm gonna do a July reading wrap-up video because I read like the most books I've ever read in a month, and they were the first soft cover book I've read in ages, like in a really long time, and I really enjoyed the experience. So then I went there to pick up a book to read for like a storybook fiction, and I picked this up. I didn't know what to get, and then I saw this, and it was from Big W, and it was only $12. Very excited to read this. I also bought 4 self-help, learning, educational type books. This one, I just picked it up, and I think it's always great to learn from people who have done what you want to do. And sometimes these business books are like kind of like sometimes they don't have much substance to them, but you don't know until you read. I also picked up this book, which is called The Metabolism Reset. It's a bit thick. I don't know when I'll start this one. Maybe soon, because one of my goals for the leveling up in the next 6 months is that I really want to achieve like the dream body that I've been wanting for a long time. I think I'm finally in a place where I can go after that in a healthy way, if that makes sense. And then I also picked up 2 books. One's called Attached. I think it's like kind of well known and famous, and it's the anxious, avoidant, or secure love or attachment styles. And I just thought that would be an interesting read because I know a bit about it, but I've never dived deep into the topic, and I would like to dive deep into the topic because I think it could help me learn a bit about myself. And then this one, Surrounded by Narcissists, it says how to stop other people's egos ruining your life. I just felt like it would help me, and there was so many more that I wanted to get, but I didn't want to spend like over $100 on books. We are going to the Southern Highlands for breakfast today. We sort of try to do like a date day every week, which is nice. And I don't know if you can hear me with the car noises, but
it's not my. I know.
No, it's okay. You can
shift
it's
it down.
Anyway, we're just getting breakfast. It's our weekend, even though it's Tuesday. So yeah, we'll start it with breakfast, and we have a whole bunch of stuff to do this weekend. But I'm really excited to eat because I'm hungry and have a coffee. Oh, and we're gonna go and try and see the cows after, because there's these Highland cows here, and sometimes they're near the fence, and I just want to drive past every time we come down here to try and see them and pat them because I love cows. That's where we're going. I want to get the smashed avocado on rye, but I want to add bacon and a hash brown, which would make it $29. I feel pretty today.
You are pretty today. It's pretty good, eh? It's a banger.
That's a good cup.
Yeah, it is, eh? That's good. Is it a banger? Happy clap over tree.
That's delicious.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's got pomegranate on it. Makes it a bit different. But it's also
It
pretty,
looks pretty good.
it's pretty simple, you know? Like sometimes it's not like too, you know, too much.
It's like, why is there like Amazonian jungle berries on my pancakes? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's unnecessary.
Can I try some of the pancake?
Oh, no. It's just like a good normal pancake. You know what I mean?
It tastes like my pancake.
It does, really, yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Well, that was delicious.
That was a banger.
Very expensive, but really good.
Yeah. You call it a cheap breakfast.
No, it gets expensive when you add like bacon and hash brown.
When you add everything.
Yeah. Now we're gonna go and try and see the cows.
Yep.
Look at how many cows there is. Let's go see the cows. Look at them. Look at them, they're looking at me. Hello. Look at them all. Come here. No, don't go away. Just look at his bottom. They're going away from me. Come here. Come here. They're walking away. They don't like me and they're walking away. Next time. I just baked one super big cookie. It is almost 7 o'clock and I've been editing all day. I didn't realize how much time it took. I mean, obviously, but I think it's because all my footage is like all mixed up in different orders and I'm gonna work on that for my next video. This vlog, I don't know. I had this cookie dough in the freezer from a couple weeks ago. I just, you know, saved one cookie's worth. It was actually supposed to be 2 cookies, but I didn't separate them before I put them in the freezer. So then I was like, stupid. So now it's just one big cookie that I'm gonna show Jackson, and yeah. Good morning. Good morning? Is it a good morning though? It is currently 8:40 on, what day is it? My head is like not in it today. I slept for so long last night. I slept for like 9.5, maybe 10 hours. I still feel this like insane like head fog, brain fog, just like I have a bunch to do today, so even though I'm not really feeling super motivated, I would say, I don't feel unmotivated, I just feel tired. I just feel like going back to bed, but project get my shit together, turn my life around, it doesn't stop for days like this. And I think an important part of maintaining this kind of project in the long term is being kind to myself and being gentle with myself and not pushing myself too much. But also I need to not have a day where I fall off the bandwagon just because I don't feel 100%. But I have so much to do today, so I think I'm gonna spend this morning just coming up with a plan for the day and figuring out my top priority to-do list and then my if I get time to-do list, just so that when I think like what the fuck am I doing, I will have written down what I want to be doing. Wow, I get so pumped out just from walking and talking. Whew, I'm like exposing myself. I just walked up a hill though, to be fair. I just thought it would be nice to show, I don't know, the realities, because I spent all day filming, editing YouTube, putting it up, and I have like no views and I have no subscribers and I have no audience, and yeah, I don't know, it's just I feel like it seems like everyone is out here just killing it. I just was on Instagram actually, and I checked on a YouTuber slash influencer slash Instagram person that I used to follow. I followed her since she had probably like 10,000 followers, and I just checked and she has 999,000 followers on Instagram today, and it just made me feel like I was really, really behind. It made me want to give up, but that's okay. It's okay to feel like that sometimes. I'm also really tired, but yeah, it's not even a hard slog yet. Like, I've barely started my journey and I already feel like a bit hopeless, but I think it's just because of tonight. Like, I am pretty motivated and feeling good about it, but I don't know, I just thought it'd be good to remind people on the internet that I guess everyone starts somewhere, because I feel like we don't usually see that. Anyway, so it is about 5:30 on Friday and I'm gonna cook dinner now. Stop it. So I know this isn't an F1 YouTube channel, but I'm still gonna talk about it because I find I'm like really into it this season and I'm just like really vibing. So it was in Belgium on the in Spa, Belgium. It was a really good race. Lewis Hamilton was probably going to win. I really thought he was going to win, but then Russell, his teammate, decided to do a one-stop race. So when he did a one-stop race and he could maintain his tires to the end, essentially what that meant is that Hamilton couldn't get past him because having clean air in front of the car really affected them in this race. So even though Hamilton was faster on fresher tires, being behind Russell in the dirty air made it really hard for him to overtake, and he just didn't really have enough laps to do it at the end. Russell, like, he was so happy at the end because he hasn't won very many races. I think like this is his second or third win maybe. I don't know, don't quote me on that. But the last win that he won because the people in front of him crashed, which is still a win that you still deserve. But this one, he fought from 6th to 1st, and he did that by being very proactive in his own strategy and saying, nope, I can maintain these tires, I can maintain them, and taking a risk, because I mean, you can take a risk when you have less to lose. Yes, when you have less to lose. Like, so for Hamilton to do a one-stop race when he was probably going to win would be crazy, because then if he couldn't get to the end, he would, you know, instead of coming like 1st or 2nd, he would like be down in 5th or something. So they did the champagne pop and like they were all cheering. And then I wake up this morning and Jackson tells me that Russell got disqualified from the race because his car was underweight by like 1.5 kilos or something, which is crazy. But his win, that was honestly super well deserved, just got ripped off away from him and he just like lost it. And so then Lewis won and he didn't even get to celebrate, and then Oscar came 2nd and Charlie came 3rd, I think. So good not to see Max on a podium. I'm gonna end this video here. I don't know if this vlog was good or not. It was supposed to be, you know, episode 1 in get my shit together in 6 months. Yeah, I'm like, it is like really hard to just like totally transform your life when you live a life. Like, you have like things that you have to do, like a job and stuff. So I think I still did good. As a recap, I tidied the house and unpacked from holidays and, you know, got all that sorted. So that was really good. And then I also did a bunch of like YouTube related stuff, which is a big part of my 6-month project. If you watched to the end of this vlog, I mean, thank you. I don't want to say I'm surprised, but yeah, thank you. It does mean like a lot. Yeah, I don't know. It just means a lot because you're choosing to watch this. So thank you. And I hope you have a lovely week. And if you're planning to get your life together with me during this 6 months, like, we got this.